Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am super excited for this video because there's going to be indie makeup releases and I'm going to be talking about all the new indie releases from the past week and my personal opinion on them, and then at the end I will jump into a few different mainstream releases and just talk about whether I think I'm going to buy them or not and just my thoughts on them. So this video series is inspired by Angelica Nikis and Samantha March. I have both of their channels linked down below, as well as the Will I Buy It playlist and all the Instagram accounts that I use to gather the information to make this video happen every single week. So I feel like this week's video is going to be extra long because last week I pre-filmed, like I filmed it on Wednesday and posted it on Sunday, so I have like several extra days. And then this week I normally try to film it on Thursday or Friday, but it is Saturday because life's been crazy. I've been procrastinating filming this and I have so many things to talk about today, so I'll try not to be too chatty, try to keep this like under 30 minutes, but super excited to sit down and talk to you guys about all the releases, so let's just go ahead and jump right on in. Okay, so first off, we have a new release from Makeup Slayve, and this looks beautiful. They're sneak peeking some new single shadows, and they look to be very pastel. You can see from the picture here what they look like in the pan, but from swatches they do look super light and bright, and I think that's amazing. Like, I am just waiting for more pastels to come out on the market, and whenever there's single shadows I feel like it's so easy to just pick the exact shade that you want. So I am very intrigued by this launch, and I feel like there are so many beautiful single shadows coming out right now, tempting me and luring me in, but I am trying to, you know, be smart about my purchases. So to be honest, I do have the Strobe Cosmetics Creamy Cute palette, which I feel like has the best pastels, but still I do really like the idea of this launch, very, very intrigued by it, and yes, definitely excited about it. Am I gonna buy it? Don't know about that. Maybe I'll buy some eventually and do like incorporate them into my single shadow collection, because I feel like they would add a certain really fun element to like my custom palettes, and I do think like they would add something to it, but at this very moment I do not have plans to purchase them. So next is the AmiHeartsBeauty new, they have a few different new duochrome shades, and these look really beautiful. There's Blunt, Greatness, Swisher, and Holy, and I think that Blunt and Greatness look really, really beautiful. Again, single shadows tempting me, looking stunning. Don't need to purchase any more single shadows at this moment, but I do think that these look really beautiful, and I think that AmiHeartsBeauty does make some really, really pretty pressed duochrome shades, so those look nice. And then another single shadow. This is from Menagerie Cosmetics, and this is their shade Besties, and I think this looks super cute. This is actually the only shade in the Courtship palette that I really wanted. I was like, ooh, that pink shade is so beautiful. I love it, and I did not want to buy like a little palette just for one shade, obviously, so I think it's exciting that it's available now. It's single form. I think it's like $4 or something like that, or $5, one of those two prices. I think maybe their mattes are $4 and the shimmers are $5. So I could see that shade possibly coming into my life at some point, because there are quite a few different single shadows from Menagerie that I would like to purchase, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. So next is another single shadow sneak peek, and this is from Lethal Cosmetics, and they are coming out with a new shade. Actually, they're going to come out with a few different new shades, I believe. I'm not sure how many, but they made it obviously seem like it's more than one. But first off is this beautiful like purpley light iridescent shade. It looks very, very pretty, and I'm definitely intrigued. I don't know what more to say. It's another beautiful single shadow. I actually did finally try Lethal Cosmetics, and I have a first impression video going up very soon, so I'm excited for you guys to see my thoughts on their shadows, but that shade in particular does look really beautiful. Alright, next is the full reveal of the TerraMoon Cosmetics Zodiac palette, and I think that this looks really beautiful as well. I feel like the mattes, there's some pastels. I feel like it doesn't look as pretty in the packaging, like the shades, but when I saw them all, like the shimmers and stuff swatched, they looked really beautiful and shifting and very metallic. So I think that this is pretty, but it doesn't really like suck me in, like you have to buy this palette. So I'm not going to, but I am definitely curious to see reviews, and there are 3 different highlighters which look pretty. There's like a pinky shade, a white shade, and a gold shade, and it's actually interesting because it looks like the 3 different highlighters that you can buy individually are tiny shades in the palette. So I think that's interesting. And I always like try to incorporate eyeshadows as highlighters if I'm like, you know, testing something out, because sometimes I found eyeshadows that are the most beautiful highlighting shades. So I think that's cool that, you know, they're tiny sizes or like smaller than regular highlighter pan sizes, but that's cool that they are included in the palette. Or if you don't want them in the palette, you could buy them separately. So I like that idea. Okay, speaking of single shadows, here's another one, and this is from Me Glo Cosmetics, and this is their new shade. Oh my gosh, I screenshotted it, but I cut off where they say the name. I think it was like something about bananas or something. Let me go find the name of this shade just so you guys know. But this is a really beautiful yellow, sparkly metallic. It is called Going Bananas. I think that is super cute. I believe it's already available now. And I know I'm going to try Me Glo Cosmetics at some point. I'm still just very, very patiently waiting to see the olive palette that they're coming out with, because it's been a hot minute since they sneak peeked the packaging. So I'm waiting, but I do think that this shade looks really beautiful. I love a good super, super metallic yellow. Okay, next is some more single shadows, but this is actually in a bundle, and this is the Danny's Dream bundle from Menagerie Cosmetics. It is already available, and it is $33. I believe it's actually sold out at this point, but it includes 9 different green shadows. I believe that there are 3 metallics and 6 mattes. I'm pretty sure. And when I saw this bundle, I was like, yes, I'm buying it, no questions asked. I love the Menagerie formula. I love green shadows. I think that this looks stunning, and this is actually supposed to be their dupe version of the April Fool's pickle palette that was sneak peeked. That wasn't like a real thing, like it was a joke. And so this is Menagerie's version of that. And so I'm like, yes, these look beautiful. And the metallic shades look really stunning. I think this is overall like a really beautiful bundle, and I feel like it's pretty affordable, like 9 shades for $33. And they also have some different affiliate codes, I believe now. I think Beauty Cult is the one I normally use, and I think it saves you 15% off. So the moment I saw this, I was like, yes, I'm buying it. But something came out that I wanted a little bit more, and it was hard, but I'm like, I'm not going to break my low buy rules. I will move this possibly to the month of May. So I'm thinking maybe May I'll do like a bunch of single shadows and do my own custom palette as one of my purchases for the month of May. But yeah, it was difficult because especially the fact that it's sold out. Like I always have like this like mindset where I'm like, well, even if I get it later, like I don't want to have to wait for it to be back in stock. Like just get it now has always been like what I've thought. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy it early for the month of May. I'm going to wait. I'm going to stay true to my rules. I'm not bending them. And I feel good about that, but also sad. But it's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, if I don't have it, I do have 8 million green shadows. I have probably all of these, honestly, if I wanted. I probably could dupe all of these shades in my own collection. It's just I love Menagerie. I love the idea of the bundle together. So I'm torn. I'm really, really torn. I do want it. So I'm waiting though. I'm waiting because April had a lot of amazing releases and I have no purchases left for the month of April. So next is another single shadow release, and this is from Davina, and they came out with 2 different butterfly multichromes, are what they're calling them. I believe that they are like the 26mm pan, and they are $10 each, or you can get a bundle of both for $18, and affiliate codes do not apply. But these look really beautiful. There's like one that looks to be like a blue with like a purple and a green shift, and then a purple with a blue shift, and I think that they're pretty. I am curious about them. I tried some of the other Davina multichromes, and those were all like super warm undertones, so I am curious about these like purpley blue ones, and I could see purchasing them at some point, just not now in this very moment. So yes, again, beautiful, and I love the idea of multichromes already pressed, and I feel like $10 or, you know, $9 each if you get the bundle is not that bad of a price compared to a lot of other multichromes on the market. So yes, so many good things this week, so many good little things. Alright, so the next thing I have to talk about is the only thing that I purchased that I'm going to be talking about in this entire buy or buy video. This was my only BUY, and this is the Linda Hallberg Spectral palette. I want to say it right so bad, and I literally was just watching Paulina's beauty video, and she was saying like exactly how to say Linda Hallberg, and I was repeating it after her, and then I went to say it, and I'm like, wow, I sound so stupid. I don't know why. Linda Hallberg. Linda Hallberg. I don't know. It sounds wrong when I say it. It drives me crazy because I want to be a good pronunciator. Pronunciator, that's probably not a word. I want to have wonderful pronunciation, which I feel like I don't, and I also want to, like, she is Swedish. I feel like I should try it and say her name Swedish, but also that's just a struggle. And I want to say things the way that they're supposed to be, but I feel like I just say it wrong and I butcher it, so it's like torn between, should I just say the Americanized version, or should I say it the way it's kind of supposed to be, but a little butchered? Like if I were to say like Paulina, like it sounds, I don't know, I sound like, I feel like it's ridiculous. Or Angelica, I feel like Angelica? I don't know. I actually downloaded Duolingo again and tried to learn some Swedish, but I just feel like I'm a mess. I feel like every time I talk about Linda Hallberg, this is where I come or where I end up, because I'm like, why do I suck? But anyways, this palette is beautiful. I love it. I love the different pastel tones. I think it looks really, really pretty, and it's got a mix of shimmers and mattes. And I think part of it is that I do really like the color scheme. That is half of why I made this purchase. But the other half is that I've really wanted to try Linda Hallberg for a really long time. And I'm so excited to finally try her brand. I did make a few different purchases to get to free shipping and to try out the things I've wanted to try for a really long time. And if I read the Swedish correctly on my FedEx tracking that I got, I'm pretty sure that it says it's set to arrive May 1st. There were a few different cognates there that helped out, so I'm really, really excited, and I will probably be doing a video in the very near future that's like, finally trying Linda Hallberg Cosmetics. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Okay, next is a new palette from Alien Cosmetics, and this is the Summer on Earth palette. And first of all, before we even talk about the colors, I just love the name, like Summer on Earth. Like, I feel like it's so, like, unexpected, like summer on Earth. Like, every summer is on Earth for me, but for Alien Cosmetics, I think there's just something about the name that I really like, and I do really like the color scheme. There's like some fun pops of green, there's some blue, a little bit of purple, and overall I do like this. I think what would hold me back from purchasing it is the fact that there are 2 pressed glitters, and I just don't like pressed glitters. That's like 2 complete pans that I feel like are a waste for me as part of the palette. It is pretty affordable. I think it says it's $25 for pre-order, and then whenever it's the official launch, it'll go up to $30. And I don't know, I think it looks pretty, but I don't think I am going to purchase it, which makes me feel guilty because like I had someone specifically tag me and say like, can you please review this? And I feel bad saying no. But I don't think that the entire palette is my vibes, and if I'm going to buy something, I want to love everything. So next is a few different new loose pigment releases from Peaches and Cream, and these look beautiful actually. These are called the Temptation Trio, and it looks like there is a warm base with like a green reflect, a warm base with like a yellowy reflect, and then like an actual green pigment. And I think that these look really beautiful. The packaging looks pretty. The shades are Eden, Venom, and Snakebite. It's the Temptation Trio. That's funny. Okay, I get it. I didn't look at the names before and realize, but yes, I think that these look nice, and possibly if I made another Peaches and Cream order, eventually I could see picking some of these up because I am loving my Peaches and Cream pigments that I purchased a few months ago, and I will do a video on them soon. It's just I have to like be prepared to have like glitter all over my face for a long time because I want to do like a full-on eye swatching video, which is going to take a while, and I just need to sit down one day and decide like this is what I'm doing today. So maybe I'll try and get that up in the month of March. But yes, super beautiful pigments, so I think that these would be beautiful as well and highly reflective, so definitely intrigued by those. Alright, next is some sneak peeks from Maeder Makeup Labs, and this is for their upcoming Lady Parts collection. This made me laugh because Maeder Makeup Labs, like, all of their names are like medical terms, and I think it's really cool, it's interesting, but this collection is the Lady Parts collection, and I am kind of very, very, very curious to see what the individual names are going to be. Like, I don't know. I wonder how far they're going to take it. Like, if it's like the Lady Parts collection, like, I just don't think I could like take myself seriously if I'm like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and put vulva in my crease. I don't know how I feel about that, but it does make me laugh. So we'll see. We'll see what the names end up being. I don't really see myself purchasing any of these because personally I bought some single shadows from Maeder Makeup Labs. I don't think I've done any videos on my channel on them, but I feel like the swatches in real life versus the swatches that they post are like polar opposites. Like, I had a lot of shades that were kind of sheer, and then their swatches like make them look like the most pigmented eyeshadow you've ever seen in your life. So I don't know, it wasn't my best experience with single shadows, and I don't think I plan on buying any of these, but I am, like I said, sickly curious to see what it ends up being because I think it'll be a laugh for sure. Okay, next from A Touch of Glam Beauty is a new iridescent transformer topper multi-shifter, and this shade is Ortoire. Let me look up how to say that. Google told me it's Ortoire. I don't know if that sounds right. But anyways, this looks absolutely beautiful. Like, this is stunning. This shade, like the shift between like pink and blue and white and purple, and it just looks gorgeous. And I am so here for everything that Touch of Glam is doing. I know a Touch of Glam order is in my future. They have so many beautiful single shadows, and this on top of it. I think this is going to be like $13, but it does look truly, truly beautiful and stunning. And yeah, I actually have like $200 worth of Touch of Glam in my Etsy cart right now, and I'm like, can't do it, I can't do it. Part of me is like just like crossing my fingers for a sale or something, and then I'll do the single shadows as a palette and make it work as like one of my purchases for the month. But I'm just waiting for the perfect timing. Alright, so next is another release that I was very intrigued by and definitely is on my radar, and it kind of shocked me, but I'm kind of open to it. So this is from Lunar Beauty, and these are the new Moon Prism powders. They're $26 each, and the packaging to start off with is absolutely stunning. And that was definitely like an intriguing part was, wow, that packaging. But, you know, packaging doesn't make an effect on how it looks on your skin, so I try not to focus too much on that. But the actual product does look really, really beautiful and glowy, and I like the lightest shade. It's like a white gold. Looks stunning. I watched, I think, one YouTube video reviewing it so far. It looked really, really nice. I like the way, like, I'm intrigued by it. And I guess I kind of was not Manny's biggest fan for a bit, not because of the whole, like, bad friend situation, like, that wasn't it. I just didn't like him ever since he said, when he made, like, the suggestion that if you didn't like Morphe shadows, that you didn't know how to do makeup. I just felt like he was kind of lost at that point, like, in his own world. Like, he was just so in, like, Morphe and affiliate and, like, just, I don't know, I just felt like it turned me off completely, and I unsubscribed whenever I saw that video, and I actually have just been, like, not really caring about what he does for a really long time. I didn't think I'd ever buy from him just because I wasn't a fan of that whole thing. I felt like he was a little bit phony in some moments, but I think I've restarted rewatching his videos because he did a video with his dad, who used to be, like, really anti, like, LGBTQ plus. So it was very intriguing, and then I think I watched his story on, like, coming out and everything, and I think from his, like, more recent content on YouTube, I do feel like it's a little bit over edited, and just, it's a whole production, but I feel like he seems a little bit more like himself and more, like, I don't know, I just feel like I see a difference. So am I his biggest fan? Absolutely not. I'm not a stan by any means, but there are some videos I like will go out of my way to watch of his, and like I don't hate him by any means, and I'm not against trying Lunar Beauty, which I'm pretty sure in the past I probably have said like, oh, I would never buy from him, but I feel like, you know, I just don't want to be negative, and I don't think like, I mean, as humans we're allowed to change our mind, so that's it. I don't have to defend why I'm changing my mind. But yes, I'm open to it, and I am open to trying these highlighters. I think that they look beautiful, and maybe I'll end up picking one up eventually. It's definitely something I'm not going to just jump on and purchase right away out of hype. I want to wait. I want to see reviews. I want to see if like 4 months from now, if people are still talking about these highlighters, then maybe I'll buy one, but I'm not going to buy one right now. But I do think like that white gold shade, delicious. All right, so next is jumping into mainstream releases. I think everything else I have to talk about is mainstream. Actually, I think I have one more indie, but that's fine. It's fine. We'll throw it in there. So next are some new duos from Cover FX, and they are monochromatic blush and bronzer duos. Some of them just look like blush, and some look like they have a little bit of bronzer, but overall, I feel like these look really beautiful. Like, looking at them, they look pretty. Like, they look nice, they look aesthetically pleasing, and I like the idea of them. I'm curious to see what people think about them, but I don't feel like I need to purchase that in any way, shape, or form. I actually have the, do I have it right here? Let's see. I have the new palette from them that I got through BoxyCharm, and this does have, like, a blush, and it kind of has like highlighters with like little squigglies and stuff in it. So maybe it's not the same thing, but I feel like I could get a similar look out of this, and it's probably, I would assume, a similar formula because these came out about the same amount like time. I mean, obviously I can't say for sure, but I'm, you know, I feel like whatever I could get out of these blushes, I could shop my stash and get the same kind of look. Like, I have matte blushes, I have glowy blushes. Yes, this is pretty together, but it's just not something I need. Alright, next is from Lime Crime, and these are new lip blaze creams, and they are liquid lipsticks, but it says they're a buttery, hydrating formula infused with top shelf cannabis sativa seed oil. And I was definitely intrigued by these looking at the bottles and the swatches, because I'm like, ooh, it is literally like an entire line of nude shades, like nudes for every single skin tone, and I think that's super cool, and I think the packaging is really fun. I don't think I could see myself purchasing these just because I had a lip like care product from Hemp's. It was like a little tube, and it was like liquid, and it's supposed to be like hydrating, and I used it this past summer for a little bit. I had it in my travel what's it called? My travel hygiene bag, and I used it a few times, and I remember like I got like a really bad reaction on my top lip. Like, it was burning, dry, it felt horrible. I didn't realize what it was. I thought maybe I was having like a cold sore or something. So I switched over to using a different, like a really hydrating lip butter, and I just kept using that. And then I put my hygiene bag away when I got back from my trip, and I forgot about it until now, but I think it must have been last week. I pulled out that same hygiene bag because I went on a trip and I used it, and I had the exact same reaction out of nowhere, where my entire top lip felt like it was burnt and dry and crusty and peeling, and I realized it must be that product. And I'm not sure what Hemp's has in it exactly. If it's I think it has hemp in it, duh, but I'm not sure what other products it has. But it does kind of make me a little bit like scared to try anything else that has like this CBD oil or cannabis or hemp, because I just don't want to have an allergic reaction, because for some reason my skin and everything lately has been extremely sensitive to so many things. It's so frustrating. I'm like, you just need to take it. Whatever I put on my face, you need to take it and stop being a little baby. But my skin is like, no, I'm so done with you using 800 million products. So yes, I am planning on getting rid of that lip butter oil, whatever it's called, which I think I'm actually gonna, before I get rid of it, I'll probably mention it in a disappointing products, just to let y'all know, even though I'm letting you know now. Basically, the whole point of that story is that I would be scared to try this because I don't want to have a reaction, and I actually have not tried anything else that has those ingredients in it. Not because I'm 100% against it, or like I'm kind of neutral, like I'm kind of like whatever. Like if it's supposed to be really good for your skin, like cool. But I don't know if my skin will tolerate it. So who knows? Maybe I just have like really prude lips. That was such a dad joke. Alright, now I have to rant for a moment because I am so annoyed about this, you guys. Okay, I'm going to post a picture on screen, and this is the BH Cosmetics Taurus palette for the Zodiac sign collection, right? And this is the exact picture that was in my email for this palette. And I was like, oh my gosh, they did an all green palette. It's like a light green highlighter. Like I thought like, oh, some of the shades are kind of similar, but I'm like, an all green palette. It's a Taurus. It's $14. I'm like, this is my month. They like, not my month. This is my sign, and they did an all green palette. I was so hyped. Like I clicked that email so fast. I was like, I'm buying it. I don't care. Like $14. I don't care. I'm like, because I still had purchases left for the month whenever I got this email. And then the thing actually opened up, and I saw what the palette actually looks like. Why in the world would they do this to me and send a green filtered picture in the email, and then you open it up and there's like 2 green shades? I'm so mad. Like I was like, what? Like what? And then I went back to the email. I'm like, what? That is just so wrong, honestly, for a green lover. Like genuinely kind of hurt my feelings. I'm kind of mad at BH Cosmetics right now. What kind of stupid email marketing is that? Which, if you go through the rest of the email, there are some different like little pictures where you can kind of see the like lays of the different green stuff. But that was the first picture I saw, and I was like, buy now. And then I saw the actual picture of what it looks like. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So yeah, definitely not buying that. And I'm like, I'm so over it. Like, I feel like I had such high hopes for this Zodiac collection from them, and it's like every month it's like a brown palette with like 1 pop of color, and I'm not here for it. So next is a new collaboration between ColourPop and Makeup by Shayla, and I think that this looks pretty. Like the packaging is intriguing. I feel like overall, you know, like I don't see myself purchasing anything from this collection. The palette is not really my vibes. I feel like it is nice to see them collaborate with a woman of color and do like blushes and lip products that will be good for deeper skin tones. But yes, overall, I just don't see myself purchasing anything from this. There has been a few things I wanted to purchase from her past collabs with ColourPop, but I just never got around to it just because I like barely ever make ColourPop orders anymore. So yes, but I think it's cool that she got a full collab, and I think like the proceed with caution and the packaging and everything does look pretty cool. But I also feel like ColourPop has like every neutral palette under the sun, so that's just not really my personal preference. Okay, next is some releases from Unique Beauty, and I think this might be an indie brand. I'm not sure exactly, but they have a few different pressed palettes here, and these look really beautiful actually. Like there's like a purpley one with some blue with a coral, a blue and a green one, and then like a more neutral one, and all swatched out on the arm. I think these look stunning, but I feel like there's pressed glitters in all of these, and I'm not really a fan of pressed glitter, like I've said 8 million times in the past. So I think this looks pretty. If someone uses it like in a video or something, I'd be curious to click on it and see what people think. I don't know, I'm not against these, but also I just feel like it's probably not like my perfect palette. I mean, the mattes look so pigmented, the metallics look really bright, but just the pressed glitters, I just don't like it. So, but I was definitely, when I saw this picture, I was like, ooh, like what is that? Alright, next is a little sneak peek from Natasha Nona, and it says like a new shade extension is coming, and it shows like a little sneak peek from like the original like Natasha Nona Bloom palette, and then there's another shade that is coming and on the way, and I'm really curious about this. I mean, I'm thinking it could go one of 2 ways. Either it'll be like super deep tones for like really deep skin, which I think would be a really cool addition to the line, or I feel like it might be lighter, like a fair to light kind of color story, and I feel like that would be hard to pass up because I do like the Natasha Nona face products, and I feel like a palette altogether would be so nice. but I'm not gonna purchase it because no matter what it ends up being, I have the Natasha Nona Daria palette. I have so much product in that palette, I cannot justify buying another Natasha Nona face palette until I like hit some pan or something in the other one. So I was definitely like, ooh, when I saw this, but I know I do not need it. Alright, next is some new brow products from Kylie Cosmetics. Overall, for this, I'm kind of indifferent. Like, people are mad about the packaging, and I don't know, like, I don't really care about most of it, but I was asked specifically to comment on the redhead shade. There is only one shade for redheads here, and that is Auburn, and that is hella dark, like, way too dark. Like, it is so frustrating that when people come out with brow products and they just forget that, like, hello, natural redheads, we exist. We cannot use the same red brow product as someone who has fake red hair. And it's like, I feel like I'm always like forced to use something that doesn't exactly work for me. And it's just annoying. So I would never try these unless they came out with a shade range that was better. I don't know, I get it. Like, redheads are like 1% of the population, and then if you take it in half and like think about how many redheads are like actual people who wear makeup, that's probably like 0.5%. Is that how that works? It's half of a percent out of 100%. That's like barely anyone. So I get it. I understand why it might not be the most cost-effective thing to make a separate shade for redheads who are natural, who have this kind of shade in their hair, but that doesn't mean that nobody should do it. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I feel like because I have tried so many makeup products, I have found some that work for me. But I remember like years ago, and even now it's the same way. Like, if you walk in the drugstore, it's like there's no redhead shades. It's so frustrating. And I feel like this is just like the same thing. Like, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with a few different sneak peeks from Anasazi Beverly Hills. So first off, I'll just post this picture on the screen. It shows everything about the foundation, like no flashback, long wearing, gluten-free, vegan, alcohol-free, clinically tested, dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested, non-comedogenic, suitable for sensitive skin. I believe it's also talc-free and oil-free. And I have a few tweets here I'll just read from Davina. She said it's liquid and dewy. It's the most skin-like foundation. It doesn't even need to be set. And then she said the best thing that this foundation does, which you'll see in all the pictures and all the videos, is the instant fix to discoloration while making it look like healthy, flawless skin. Of course, she's going to like hype it up because it's her product, but just from hearing about that, I feel like that is right up my alley. I feel like the more foundation I use, I just realized that I like a lighter foundation. Sometimes when I'm having a really bad skin day, I'll go for something more full coverage, a little bit more matte, but overall, I just prefer a lighter foundation, and then I'll use concealer to cover up anything that I feel like I need to, but I think a really liquidy, dewy, just soft foundation sounds perfect. So I am very, very curious to see what this foundation ends up being and if people like it. I'm sure people will like it because it's Anasazi Beverly Hills, so it's probably one of those things you just have to try for yourself. So maybe I'll like actually go into a Sephora and get a sample of it first. There's also going to be 50 shades, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And what I'm even more excited about, and I feel like I haven't heard anyone talking about this, is that Davina also said, okay, not to get overly excited and tell on myself before June, but let me proceed to do so anyway. Our new eye primer is amazing. I know coming from me, any ABH recommendation seems biased, but personally, I'm obsessed and I want to convey that as transparently as possible. Basically, they're coming with an eye primer, and I'm so ready because I'm like, I want a Holy Grail eye primer that, it's just so hard. Holy Grail, like, I want something that is colored and thicker, but sets down and makes eyeshadows pigmented, and it's cruelty-free, and it's so hard to find exactly what I want. So I have really, really high hopes because I feel like ABH kind of does tie into like the Instagram type of makeup, and I feel like that's the kind of eye primer that is really in right now. so I'm hoping that's what it'll end up being and not like a transparent like a Urban Decay type of eye primer. Not that there's anything wrong with that, like everyone has their own preference, but for me personally, I have like my fingers crossed, like please make this the best eye primer ever. That would be amazing. So I'm really having high hopes for that release. And it's actually kind of funny that she ended with the like the seams bias part, because I literally was just talking about that. But overall, I feel like Anasazi does make really high quality products. So very excited about that release in June, I'm assuming. Alright, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to leave down below what releases you are most excited about or least excited about, what you are absolutely not buying, someone couldn't pay you to buy. I would love to hear from me. That would probably be the Taurus palette this month. I was so mad. So mad. I'm like, if I had just seen it, I would have been like, ugh, like it's not what I would want. But the fact that I saw it, I was like, oh, green palette. And then I saw the... Ugh, I could just go on and on. I could just do a full BH Cosmetics rant video right now, but I'm not going to, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.